We are your home theater and AV questions answered. This is AV Rant. Want your home theater or AV question answered by Tom and Rob? Send it to question@avrant.com. Welcome to AV Rant. I'm Tom Antry, and I'm here with
Rob H.
Fab. It's Fabrizio, right? This is the same guy? It's got to
Yes.
be the same guy. Has got a question here. Fabrizio F. I guess we're calling him Fab.
Yeah, that's what he signed off as, so we'll always go with how people sign off.
All right, Fab. Fab intends to have a dedicated home theater in the future, but for the time being, he is using his 14 by 23 by 8 foot living room, which is open to the kitchen, dining room, and foyer. Foyer?
I say foyer.
I say
But I'm
foyer as
Canadian.
well, but I look at it and I'm like, it's kind of, anyways, he's got a lot of open air. He's using the ELAC Unify tower speakers, and he bought one SVS PB1000 subwoofer. He figures that dual PB1000 subs in a 3,000 cubic foot closed room would be fine, and that's what he's planning for his future home theater. So we start with one PB1000 and plans to add a second PB1000 later. But for right now, the lone PB1000 in cutting it, and we typically say that adding a second identical sub won't actually make it louder. So technically make it a little bit louder, but not
About
considerably.
3 dB.
3 dB. It is louder. It's not a lot.
It's just not nearly as much as you would think. It's not twice as loud.
So what if he bought a much louder sub? Should he still pair it with the PB1000, or should he sell the PB1000 with a pair of much louder subs? In other words, do the two subs have to match? Okay, two subs don't ever technically have to match as far as brand, but it's usually best if they match in performance. Now, what you're talking about is getting one that is much louder than the other one. I'm wondering if the problem here is loudness, so much as it is the fact that he's sitting right against the wall.
Well, there's that, but I mean, I don't think his PB1000 is pressurizing his current space.
Oh, I don't think so either. Not the way that he really wants it to. So if we were looking for a tactile bass response, you have to understand that you're going to be pressurizing the air in your room, your kitchen, your foyer, and your dining room, which will make glassware shake. I know from experience.
I mean,
this is what will happen.
Basically a weakest link situation.
Yeah.
One of these subs is going to, reach its limits, whether that's extension limits, output limits, distortion limits. It's one of them is going to reach its limit before the other when they're mismatched like that. Now, if you're within the limitations of both subs, it's not a problem. You can have a crazy overpowered sub that you just happen to turn way down. That's fine. But when what you want is the full capability of the big overpowered sub, if you're going to have a second one, it has to be able to match those capabilities, because otherwise you're limited to the capabilities of the least capable sub.
Right, this is the
A
weakest link for sure thing. So, just grabbing another big sub, and frankly, I'm not really sure that you really want to go and replace your subs with bigger subs.
When this isn't the full-time room.
Yeah. I almost want to say you kind of just live with it for right now and just know that it's going to get better later on.
Or split the difference, like get a pair of 2000s? I don't know.
Yeah, well, what's
It's a
his
weird
other
way to
option?
do it.
I mean, he'd have to get like ultras, right? To fill this whole space.
For this whole space, yeah. I mean, pluses would probably be fine, but I mean, talking a pair of and then moving them to a dedicated 3,000 cubic foot room, now you got crazy overkill.
All right. So you couldn't wait
Yeah.
for our answer. So he bought an SVS. Man, I want to say that we only had one question left over at the end of last week. So this is not like we kept him hanging. He just was impatient. He bought an SVS PC12 Plus. He put it in the right rear corner of his theater, the only place he could put it without his wife getting mad and rolling it out the front door.
Yeah, there's the downside of a cylinder sub. Easy for someone else to roll it away.
Anyways, he's very disappointed upon initial setup. His bass actually seems much quieter. He knew to expect that from having listened to us, but it's more than what we described. He tried turning up his receiver's trim levels. His YPow is now set the new PC12 to negative 10 dB, and it does set distance and level independently for both subs. He's also cranked up the PC Plus's 12 Plus volume dial as well. Sounds quieter no matter what. So maybe there's actually a defect?
Now, if YPow measured it and set it to -10, something's coming out of that sub.
Yeah, it's coming out of that sub.
It wouldn't randomly pick -10 dB in the auto setup.
looking at the room again, he's sitting on the couch on the back wall. There is a not insignificant chance that he's sitting in some sort of null.
Yes.
That's was kind of what I'm thinking. At the same time, we've said this before, when you have two subs and you're getting more even base. Now, remember, you're not, if you really wanted to set them up so they would optimally set, you would set one in the foyer and one in your home theater.
Yeah,
That's
I guess so,
proper
yeah.
placement. Or one in the dining room and one in the kitchen in opposing corners. Or one to the left of your couch and one in your kitchen all the way across the house from it. Or perhaps on your stairs someplace.
Yeah. I mean, just to confirm, because this seems, I mean, if you turned up the trim level and you turned up the volume dial and it was still like really quiet, I mean, just to confirm, I would maybe take your PC-12 Plus. This is very much just temporary, but I'd put it like right in the middle of your room, like right in the middle of your theater room.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even connect it to an AV receiver. I just connect it directly to like a line out jack from my phone or from my iPod or something like that. You know, just a headphone to RCA adapter cable, plug that straight into the subwoofer and play some bass sweeps. And just, yeah, let's make sure. I mean,
He
SVS
doesn't
is
have to
very
do any
reliable,
of
but
that,
let's make sure.
He doesn't have to do any of that. He just has to listen, put a movie on, decide that he doesn't like the way that how much bass is coming out. Then go over there and put his hand underneath the sub where the driver is and tell me whether or not it's
or
moving.
to go into your kitchen or dining room or foyer, and I mean, it's probably crazy loud in one of those places,
Yes.
and then silent at your seat. Because I think based on your seating position, you are sitting in some kind of crazy null.
Yeah, I think that's what's going on here. I
Yeah.
mean, you've got, if you look at the whole space, and it's unfortunate that this is the case.
Mm-hmm.
That, there you can be playing with placement. You can be not
yeah.
too much, but
I
you
remember
can be.
early on when the 13 Ultras first came out, I recommended one of them to somebody on a forum, and he came back and he was like, "This thing is like really quiet. I don't hear anything." I'm like, "Well, that ain't right." I was like, move the sub, like just temporarily put it somewhere else. And he did, and he was like, "Oh, now it's like shaking me to my core." So it's amazing what placement can sometimes happen. Yeah. So
Yeah. So I don't think there's a defect. There could be, but there cannot be.
the fact that Wipeout set it to -10 really makes me think there isn't.
Yeah, but what I would do here for sure, I'm trying to find your picture again. What I would do here is right now you have the sub up for the PB1000 up front, the location of the new PC-12 Plus in the back right corner.
Yeah.
And then you have a possible location for, is this a third sub?
No,
SC?
he could switch corners for, because right now his
I
other
would totally start moving stuff around.
yeah.
You are not going for opposing corners in your space, sir. This is not what we're going for, because you don't
No.
have opposing corners. Your opposing corners is back left corner of your dining room, front right corner of your kitchen, or front left corner of your foyer, and back right corner of your home theater. That's your opposing corners. So you're not going for opposing corners in this room. Start if you've got another possible location, try them all.
Yeah.
Try them all. Because
And the other thing was like again, if you just want to confirm that the PC-12 Plus is working properly, try putting it where your PB-1000 is right now and just play it by itself.
yeah.
So, yeah. I'm pretty sure it's working. But yeah, I think this is a placement issue. And mostly the seat,
Yes.
unfortunately.
Want your question answered? Send it to question@avrant.com. This is AV Rant.
Now go out and listen to something.